is up today, guys? Struckus again here, and just going for a little ride. Do a little mic test. This is a new mic I just got. It's the same one Dan recommends. The Nuweer. Yeah, you got 3 of them. I think there was 3 for $15 or something stupid like that. Yeah, it's just ridiculously cheap, but I decided to try them because Dan's audio is pretty damn good. And the yeah, go over this way and get some gas. So far I've been testing it out, and it's been pretty damn good. Much better than the one I got from the source. The source one was Digitronics or Digitex, or it was for it actually said for GoPro, but it had the adapter and everything. I think it was like $30, and it was too sensitive. It was clipping like crazy. I guess the impedance was too low, or I mean too high, or whatever, too low or too high. So it was clipping the mic, and it sounded like absolute garbage. It sounded good in like without wind and stuff, but when you get it in a helmet, it sounded like absolute shit. Just all like that digital, you know what clipping sounds like. It's just all clipped. But I'm trying these ones out. One thing I do like about it is it terminates in stereo, so I don't have to go through and do the clone track anymore. I can just, it's right stereo now. It's recording to both tracks instead of just recording to the one. Fuck this. Oh man. Another thing I wanted to talk about is motorcycle power. I can even go so far as saying weight as well. How easily we get used to the amount of power our bikes have. I never thought that was it would have been a thing for this 650, but even, you know what I mean? We get so used to the power that we have. Like even there, it used to scare the shit out of me to do something like that. And the power didn't go away, but I guess my respect for the power goes away. I guess is that an accurate thing to say? Fucking keeping that open. It's a nice day. You just get used to it. Like you get so used to it, and then you're like, fuck, it doesn't feel like it did when I first got it. I mean, the power's still there. You're still doing illegal things when you crank on it, but it just doesn't feel the same as it did when I got it. I guess I wasn't expecting that with something with like a 650. This thing's got like 66 horsepower in it, and I think it would probably be the same if you had 100 horsepower, 120 horsepower. You're still going as fast, but your respect for the power kind of goes away. Like this thing's the fastest bike I've ever owned. Man, it'll get up to speed, no problem at all, and it doesn't think about it, but like it doesn't feel fast anymore. You know what I mean? It just feels like, yeah, okay, now I'm doing speed, but you don't get that kick, and I don't need that. Like I'm not one of those guys that needs that, but I went from being like really afraid of this thing. Well, not afraid, but respecting it, to just being like, fuck, crank on her, just rev. And I'm not revving it up like as much as I can, but even just half of what it had to offer really impressed me when I first got it. Like I was like, whoa, that's, whoa, my other bike won't do that. And now it's just kind of like, yeah, okay, we're going now. No big deal. Like we're gone, but. I don't know, man. And another thing is the weight. Like this thing was the heaviest bike I've owned, biggest bike I've owned. Definitely the heaviest bike I've owned. And when I first got it, I was like, holy shit, like this is really heavy. Like, oh my god, if this ever goes sideways, I'm fucked. Like, oh my god. And then, you know, I've had some instances where I hit the front brake in the wrong situations in a turn, and I've had the thing way past the balancing point, and I was able to recover from it. So even the weight and the size is just, you get used to everything on a bike. You get used to it, and it's, I don't know, coming from somebody that, you know, hasn't gone through all the emotions. Like, I've had a scooter, and then I had the 250, and the 250 was like, whoa, my God, that's craziness. And now the 250 is just like, oh my God. Like, it almost feels like there's something wrong with the bike because I'm used to the V-strom. But there's nothing wrong with it. It has the same amount of power. It's just my interpretation of the power is so much different because I have a bike with more power now. So I don't even know where I'm going with this. It's just an interesting thing I was thinking about, you know, like we become so accustomed to the power. Now I see why it's so easy for guys to, you know, want to go to a liter bike, and you know, the cruiser guys going to these huge friggin' engines, because they just get used to it. But I mean, I don't know if you ever not get used to it. I mean, if I got a liter bike, or if I would have gotten that 1000cc V-strom, it probably would have felt about the same right now. You know what I mean? It probably would feel like, okay, it feels fast, but it doesn't feel like scary fast, and it's got about 100 horsepower in it. I don't even know where I'm going with this. I guess it's just an experience, and when you go through it, you're kind of like, holy shit, like, I'm not looking, but like, I would never, before that I would have said like, oh, I'd never own a 1000cc, but now I'm like, fuck, why wouldn't I? Like, this thing, it's got enough power, but I don't know, like 1,000 wouldn't be too much more. It wouldn't intimidate me, I don't think. It'd be a little heavier and a little torqueier, but I would get used to it, just like I got used to this. So, I don't know. Maybe what I'm thinking is, you know, don't be afraid of the bigger bikes. Don't be afraid to get something, you know, 600 if you're, you know, I wouldn't say starting out, but even if you are starting out, if you're like the type of rider that knows how to learn and how to, you know, not kill yourself. Because if I would have started on this, I would have been completely fine. There would have been no issue at all. I would have been A-okay. Because I would have not killed myself. But, I mean, I'm sure there's guys out there that would do that. I don't know. Just kind of rambling on now. But that's one thing I do notice is that the power, the respect for the power does go away. The intimidation of the power goes away, and the feeling of, you know, the extreme weight goes away. So it's kind of neat. I don't know. All right, guys, have a good one. Struckus out.